Welcome to the Real Life Weight Loss Podcast, where we cut through the confusion and get down to the truth about what really works for real people when it comes to losing weight, having incredible health, and a body that you love. We believe that losing weight is really about gaining life, doing things you never thought you could, having renewed confidence, and enjoying your body more than ever. I'm your host, Corey Little. Now let's get to it. Welcome back, my friend. This is episode number 283, and today I'm going to explain to you how our brain can really work against us when it comes to dieting and losing weight. If you're someone who feels like, man, I've tried like a bunch of different diets and no diet has really ever worked for me, well, today you're going to find out why. And honestly, today is a follow-up to the last episode. The last episode, you can go back and listen to it, but as I recorded it, and especially when I got finished, I was like, okay, Corey, that's not the full story. Like, there's more to this that you need to share with people and they need to hear, because you guys know I always promise you the truth. And everything I shared in the last episode is true. It's 100% true. If you haven't listened, go back and listen. Episode number 282. But what I'm going to share with you today is also true, even though it may seem kind of contradictory. So let's get started. Okay. Pretty much everything in life, there's always like two ends of the spectrum, right? And it's so important for us to hear, understand, and embrace kind of both ends, to at least hear both ends of the spectrum and then embrace a really balanced approach to finding the solution that we need in life. And so since this is a weight loss podcast, we need to find a balanced approach to finding a great weight loss solution, to finding something to help us get the results that we want in life. In the last episode, I explained that methods are many, but principles are few. Methods always change, but principles never do. And when it comes to losing weight, it doesn't matter which method, which diet, or which program you choose. All of them have to, by the laws of science, they have to adhere to two foundational principles. Number one, that to lose weight, you ultimately have to eat to consume less than you use. And you must do this on a consistent enough basis for your body to use its own energy stores, its own fat stores, for survival and for your day-to-day life. That's foundational principle number one. It's just true. You can't change that. Regardless of what method you choose, keto, intermittent fasting, or even some super strict, super low-calorie diet, they all will lead to weight loss if they adhere to that first principle. But to keep the weight off, there's a second principle. You ultimately have to adopt those methods, that program or diet, as your new lifestyle. You can't do it, lose weight, and then you're done and get back to normal life. That's just not how it works. If you want to keep your results, then to some extent, you must keep doing the thing that brought those results. If you want to keep the weight off, it can't just be something that will address principle number one. It must also address principle number two. Can or will I do some version of this or enough of this long term, like long enough to maintain my results? And then towards the very end of that last episode, I said something like this. Please don't believe that just because you struggled and failed with a certain diet or a certain program that you're a failure. And don't believe that something else won't be more helpful for you or can't be more helpful for you. If you decide to get help in your weight loss journey, then you need to find what's best for you. Okay, I stand by what I said, but just like pretty much anything in life, we can take it too far, right? We can take anything too far. If we're not careful, we can slip into this, what is out there that will fix me mentality. It's like a fix me mentality. It's like we're on this search to find the program or diet that will fix us, when in reality, it always comes down to you, my friend. It's always you. It's always you fixing you, for lack of a better phrase. It's always you improving your own life. It's always you making better choices, working to change your thought patterns, ingraining a new lifestyle and a new mindset. It's always you. But Corey, hold on, man. If it's always me, well, then why do I need a coach or a diet program? Look, first of all, let me be very clear. I'm not saying that you do. People can certainly find success on their own, but what experience has taught me is very often to succeed in any area of life where we've consistently struggled, we might need some help. We often will need some help and some expert guidance. But here's what's so important to understand. That is exactly what a great coach or program is. Help and guidance. No one can do the work for you. No one can change your body but you. No one can change your life but you. The problem is Before we even realize it, we give way too much power to something else, something outside of us, to some coach or some program. We fall into this trap of thinking they are the savior. They will save us and fix us. And that's just not true. A great program or coach will teach us and guide us and encourage us and hold us accountable and help us find our best next step and help us overcome mess-ups and challenges and help us see our blind spots and so much more. But ultimately, it's still you doing the work. You might have heard me say to one of my amazing, super successful clients, sometimes I have them on the podcast and I'll interview them. And sometimes they'll say, Corey, thank you. It's been so wonderful. I'll say, no. I give you all the credit. I give you all the credit. You did the work. You took action consistently. I'm just your tour guide. I cannot take you anywhere that you're not willing to go. A great program or coach can be incredibly helpful. Don't get me wrong. But it or they will never fix you. That's up to you. And it's always will be, regardless of what all the advertisements from the weight loss industry might say or promise. So we can't fool ourselves into thinking something will fix us. And maybe you're totally guilty of this and you're like, oh my gosh, he's hitting the nail on the head. Or maybe you're just not sure right now. So I'm going to help you try to figure that out, okay? When someone fully falls into this gotta find the thing to fix me trap, they often start doing what I call diet jumping. It's not only a result of this like fix me mentality, but it's also rooted in a bunch of neuroscience, like the feel-good sensations of dopamine, and a psychological concept called the DK effect. It stands for the Dunning-Kruger effect. So there's legit science behind all of this. To give just a super quick, super simplified explanation, basically we love the buzz and excitement of something new, but we don't like the work that it requires. So like whenever we first start something new, it can be a diet. It really can almost be anything. Whenever we start something brand new, usually we're full of excitement and optimism and learning and doing, and even the simplest little things, it just makes us feel like a rock star. It's like, woohoo, I got this. I'm so going to crush it. You have no idea. This time is going to be different, right? And isn't that how we feel? We feel all of this excitement and all of this confidence because honestly, we don't know any better. Our confidence and excitement is super high, but our competence, which is our ability to do what it takes, that's very low because we haven't yet faced the reality of doing the hard work. We haven't faced the reality of doing the hard work and learning and taking action. But then here's the really crazy part. The more you do that, the more you learn and attempt to do things, which means you're realizing all that you don't know or you're not currently good at, well, then the lower that initial confidence and excitement falls because it's forcing you to become super self-aware and self-honest and to realize, wow, man, I've got so much to learn and so much to do. When you think about it, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? Because it seems totally backwards. It seems like the more we learn, the deeper we move into something, the more excited and encouraged and confident we should be, right? Because technically we're taking action and making progress, but psychology tells us that it can often work in the exact opposite way. And this, my friends, is exactly why people do what I call diet jumping. That is when someone loves the hope, excitement, and feel-good buzz of starting a new program or diet. And then exactly what I just described happens. Eventually, reality hits. They realize their competence is low, and they must do the hard work of learning and practicing and messing up and learning and gradually getting better piece by piece, little by little. And guess what? That's just not nearly as fun as the butterflies and excitement and the dopamine that they get when they're starting a new program. So they jump. They abandon ship. They jump from diet to weight loss fad, to new fancy gym, to new cutting edge fat burner supplement, to 4-week weight loss challenge, to new personal trainer, to something else and something else. The list goes on. And the sad part is they never stick to anything long enough to know if it's even a good fit for them, much less long enough to actually gain competence, to gain a level of competence and know-how, new skills and knowledge and abilities. So sadly, there's a really good chance they will never achieve what they say they want. There's a good chance they will never be successful in this area. But maybe worst of all if they don't ever realize that they're diet jumping, just bouncing from one dopamine rush to the next, then they're kind of doomed. It's because it's essentially it's never their fault. They can't even see the truth. I mean, heck, they just haven't found what works for them yet. Breaking news, my friend, nothing will work for you because it's not that. That's the issue. It's that this person is not willing to work for it. This always reminds me, when I'm talking about this concept and explaining it, it always reminds me of a person who really struggles with dating and marriage. And if this is you, I'm not picking on you. I'm sure you're wonderful and amazing, but just hear me out. Let's think of that friend, right? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about that friend. Someone who really struggles with dating and marriage. Imagine some guy gets married and divorced 5 different times. And then he says something like, yeah, I'm just still trying to find the right woman for me. For real? Dude, what's the common denominator here? You are, my friend. You are. Maybe you need to work on you. Maybe instead of trying to find the right woman, you need to focus on becoming the right man. Either your picker is off and how you're choosing which women to date in marriage. Either your picker is off, so you can just keep choosing women who are just totally you're not compatible with. Or maybe you have some deep-seated issues that keep causing these intimate relationships to fail. But we cannot keep putting the blame on the other person or on something else when you are the common denominator. Look, if you've married and divorced more diets and weight loss programs than you can count, sure, maybe the diet was too extreme and you need a better picker. You need a better selector. You need to be able to choose a better program. I get it. But maybe at the heart of your weight loss struggles is just your craving for the rush of excitement and confidence that comes with a new endeavor, and your avoidance of what is reality, your avoidance of putting in the work to gain new knowledge, and even more important, to learn new skills. You can jump from diet to weight loss fad to new fancy gym to new cutting edge workout program to a 4-week fat shred challenge, but none of them will do the work for you. You are the only person who can change you. A great coach or program can be amazingly helpful in so many ways, but it's still between you and you. So let's take a moment to understand that multiple things that might even seem a little contradictory, those multiple things can all be true. I stand by all I said in the last episode and in this episode. Put it all together, and you have, in my opinion, a big shot of loving encouragement and also a big dose of some tough love truth. Just because you've tried different diets or programs and you struggled and failed and you didn't get the results you wanted, that does not mean that you're a failure. And it doesn't mean that something else, some other program or some other diet or some other coach won't be more helpful for you. It doesn't mean that something else might not be a better fit for you. Not at all. That being said, it's also true that no coach or program can fix you or do the work for you. That's entirely up to you. So, I ask you the question, and I hope you'll truly consider it and answer it for yourself. Are you diet jumping? If you get really honest, has that been your pattern? If so, that's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Shame doesn't help in this situation or pretty much any situation, so just let it go. Just see your pattern, become increasingly aware of it, and then begin to watch out for, and then here's the big thing, to choose against it. If you've connected with this, if you feel like you're a diet jumper, then don't just ride the wave of empty excitement into some new diet that's promising ridiculous results. No. If you feel like you're a diet jumper, I encourage you to slow down, think things through. Don't make any quick, rash decisions, and be sure, if you decide to get help in your weight loss journey, then find the solution that's best for you. How do you know what that is? Well, here's my best advice. I'm going to give you 4 specific steps, okay? Here we go. Number 1, find a person or program or coach or plan that you connect with. You want to connect with their message. What are they saying? What are they sharing? You want to connect with their personality. It doesn't matter this person's credentials or expertise. If you can't stand their personality, if you don't feel like you could get along with them, well, it's probably not the best fit. So number one, you want to connect with them, to connect with their message, their personality, and their approach. Their approach needs to make sense to you. Then number two, it needs to be a person or program that you believe in. That you need to be confident about their expertise and their qualifications and the results they've produced with other people. And then number three, it needs to be someone or something that you trust. You need to truly believe this person or program has your best interest at heart. Whenever you make a choice for someone to help you with your health and weight loss goals, that's not something to be taken lightly. This is a serious topic. And for a lot of people, there's so much intertwined with it. It can be a pretty sensitive topic and sensitive area of life. Don't throw your pearls before swine, my friend. Find help for this special and unique area of your life with someone that you connect with, you believe in, and that you can entrust this area of your life to. And then number four, go for it. Put your name on the dotted line, commit, and don't look back. Burn your boats and lean into the process. Some of you may have heard this phrase, some of you haven't. You may be, burn your boats. Corey, I don't even have a boat. What does a boat have to do with losing weight? There was some explorer, it might have been Cortez, I don't know, and they sailed across the ocean blue for days and days and days and landed upon the new world, right? Some new land that they were unfamiliar with. And when they got there, the leader, Cortez, burned the boats so that basically to say, look, none of us are going back home. We have to make it work here. We have to figure out how to make this work. And there's some power in that, because sometimes if you go into a new diet or a new program and the whole time you're kind of, maybe even though you don't realize it, you're kind of thinking, well, if this doesn't work, you're kind of always looking for the side door. That will sabotage you from day one. If you're going to try something new, go through this 4-step process I outlined. Find the thing that you feel is the best fit for you, and then burn your boats. Because if you don't, you'll just wind up diet jumping again. Stick with it long enough to see if it's truly a good fit for you. Okay, my friends, I hope this has been helpful. And I hope, as I always say, that you'll share it with someone. Share it with someone who you think would benefit or would enjoy. And I hope that 2 or 3 of you will get together and discuss it, maybe bounce back and forth some text messages or messages on social media. Oh, I love that. I love the thought of that. So please do it. And then just a friendly reminder that if you'd like to support this podcast and maybe even really support yourself, there are 2 big ways that you can do that. Number 1, take the next step and join my Inner Circle coaching program. This is the biggest win-win by far. It's the most powerful way to not only support the podcast, but to support yourself on your health and weight loss journey. You will not only get access to the amazing community of support. I am biased, but it's incredible. But you'll also get my step-by-step roadmap to lose weight, change your brain, and gain confidence. Or maybe regain your confidence would be a better way to say that. 99% of the time, if someone likes this podcast, they absolutely love the coaching group and the program. If you want more info about that, you can shoot an email to support@CoreyLittleCoaching.com. I will include that link down in the show notes. And then the second way you can support this podcast, if you so choose, is to purchase Rise Nutrition products. These are products that I believe in, I trust, and I and my clients actually take on a consistent basis. If you're interested in giving Rise products a try, you can find them on Amazon or at the website challenge2rise.com. I'll include both of those, the Amazon links and the website link, down in the show notes, so you can scroll down for those. Now, last but not least, I just want to thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Thank you to each and every one of you that takes time to post a review. I read every single review. They mean more to me than you know. And thank you to everyone who shares this podcast with someone or shares it on social media or takes time to shoot me a message. I see all of that. I read all of that. And it means the world to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm honored you spent some time with me today. So please, let's wrap it up. Like we always do, never forget, there is so much more to you than a number, so don't let the scales dominate your headspace or dictate your emotions. No, no, no. And losing weight is wonderful, and I love helping people do it, but losing weight is really all about gaining life and living the life that you've always wanted to. And my friend, if you've connected with this episode and you're like, that's me, Corey, I've tried so many things and I always fail. You're not a failure. It's okay. Even if you're getting to the place that you don't believe in yourself, it's okay. I believe in you. You can borrow my belief. You keep coming back. I'll keep working on you, and we will get you there, my friend. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.